Others say it's an angel, others say it's a god, right?
So essentially he's the person who stopped me from dying.
She was very real to me, and nobody remembers her.
She experienced a sense of divine unity.
What if I told you guardian angels exist?
I'm a God-believing person, so somebody help me out of there.
Whether you already believe this or not,
When I looked back and where he was standing, he was gone.
there's a strange spiritual phenomenon that may back that statement. One of the earliest documented occurrences of the third man was in 1916. Ernest Shackleton and his team's 1916 Antarctic exploration became a fight for their lives when their boat, the Endurance, got trapped in ice. Shackleton and two companions, Tom Crean and Frank Worsley, embarked on a journey across mountain ranges and glaciers to a whaling station in Stromness Bay. For more than a day, the men trekked across the island of South Georgia, and against all odds, they survived. They largely credit their survival to a fourth traveler. They admit there was a presence they all felt, which provided hope and direction. But that presence was never there.
I was unconscious for some period of time. When I woke up, I wasn't sure where I was, and I knew the chance of living was very slim. And there was essentially a voice over my right shoulder which said, no, you have to try, you can't die.
While ice climbing in the Canadian Rockies near Lake Louise, Alberta, James Savigny and Richard Whitmore were overcome by an avalanche.
We fell some 600 meters to the bottom.
While Savigny regained consciousness, he was severely injured, and shortly after discovered that Whitmire was dead. Savigny was more than prepared to die. It was in that moment that he then felt a sudden and strange sensation.
And about the time that I began to get comfortable and warmer, there was essentially a voice over my right shoulder which said, no, you have to try, you can't die. And it gave me information like, hey, now make these arrows from blood from your face. And I would make these arrows from blood, and the voice would say, in case someone skis by, they'll see you.
When Savigny finally made it to a base camp, the presence he felt left.
And I thought, well, that's it. The voice knew that I was dead and left me. I know now that this voice left because it knew I was safe. I don't think I would have been able to do what I did without that help.
He claims that it was much more than luck that led him to this miraculous survival.
When you're looking at the World Trade Center, we understand that a plane has crashed into the World Trade Center.
Crashed into the World Trade Center.
2 planes have crashed into the World Trade Center.
Maybe one of the most notable occurrences happened in 2001.
Ron is said to be the last known survivor of the World Trade Center attack.
A man named Ron DeFrancisco was on the 84th floor of the South Tower at the World Trade Center on September 11, 2001.
People were starting to drift off and go to sleep. And that's when I heard a voice.
Now, when the second plane hit the tower, DeFrancisco tried everything to find an exit, but ultimately, he failed.
I guess I got to about the 91st floor and realized we couldn't get it.
Now, on the verge of giving up, DeFrancisco heard an unfamiliar voice.
Who was that voice?
So some say it may be God or an angel, and some say it may just be me.
DeFrancisco was only one of 4 people to escape above the 81st floor.
It was a calm, clear voice, and told me to come this way. So I went towards the thickest smoke and the fire, and I pulled back a sheet of drywall to reveal the staircase below.
He also believes that if it wasn't for what he describes as an angel, he wouldn't have made it out of the South Tower alive. Science still struggles to produce evidence that will back exactly what occurs in this moment. Theories such as the two-brain theory, the idea that 2 hemispheres of your brain are separate and may talk to one another, has been a potential cause to this phenomenon.
There's not just one you living inside your brain.
Our left hemisphere and right hemisphere now are working independent of each other.
Truth be told, only one thing is certain. This event only occurs in high-stress, trauma-heightened environments.
mind is made up of a constellation of independent, semi-independent agents, and that these agents, these processes can carry on a vast number of activities outside of our conscious awareness. There's some final stage or some final system, which I happen to think is in the left hemisphere, that pulls all of this information together into a theory. It has to generate a theory to explain all of these independent elements.
There is an overwhelming amount of evidence that those two kinds of consciousness exist. One being your consciousness of you as a localized and specified being, and the other being this capacity to experience oceanic dissolution and the sense of the cosmos being one.